So thank you for recording. I appreciate whoever hit that for me. Thank you. And if it's showing across your screen, you can just X that out. And there's a couple ways you can communicate with me tonight. I want you to be able to ask your questions as they pop up. You can use the chat icon in the upper part of the screen, or you can actually raise your hand. If you know how to do that, there's a little raise your hand icon. So feel free to ask questions as we go through the presentation. It's made up of a couple videos and some slides with information. I'll try to make it as clear as possible. This recording will be available to you in the near future. I don't have a date on that, but we will make it available. If you're coming on, please mute your mic, if you will, when you join, and then we'll be able to go without a distraction for the rest of us. So we're going to talk about apprenticeships this evening. I want to give some information on what apprenticeships are, specifically what are apprenticeships when we talk about WakeWorks apprenticeship, and where we go from there, and how if you or anyone you know would like to get involved, then we're going to help you with a few steps. But first, I think you all want to learn a little bit more about apprenticeship and what it is. It's not something new. Apprenticeship has been around a long time. We're talking back to the medieval times when you remember blacksmiths were apprentices. So apprenticeships are becoming very popular again. I think that's due, in fact, to the economy and the fact that employers are struggling to find skilled and trained workers for their careers. And apprenticeship, as you'll see, offers a great solution, not only for the employees and the students, but also the companies. And here at WakeWorks Apprenticeship and with any apprenticeship, it all starts with our company partners. So they are what make the difference. They are going to provide the on-the-job learning portion of apprenticeship. So without further ado, let's hear a little bit. Confused there. That's okay. So I want everybody to know that you were just watching a video clip from an organization called Apprenticeship USA. So that is part of the U.S. Department of Labor. All of our apprenticeship programs here at Wake Tech in the WakeWorks Apprenticeship Program are registered through Apprenticeship NC, our registration arm as part of the NC Community Colleges with the U.S. Department of Labor. That is important because these are very specific apprenticeable occupations. And at the end of the program, if you successfully complete both the on-the-job learning as well as the related technical instruction, you are going to receive a Journey Worker certificate stating that you have mastered as a Journey Worker that profession that you are taking as part of your apprenticeship program. So that's a little bit about what the basis is. So why are so many companies jumping on the apprenticeship train? As you just saw in that video, it's to improve the workforce diversity by reducing unnecessary barriers. So when we set up apprenticeship programs, they are already determined employers to hire through the apprenticeship program and provide the on-the-job learning portion of the apprenticeship and actually hire the apprentices in a job with their company. The other thing is they like to retain these entry-level positions. So as an apprentice, you're starting out. Typically, you're just going to have either the related technical instruction or actually no experience in the trade that you're going into or the specialty occupation that you want. The employers understand that and they expect it, and therefore they help us retain entry level workers longer. It reduces the hiring cost by coming to a program like WakeWorks. They know they can come back to us time and time again and interview our apprentices and pre-apprentices that are going through our program, which really helps them, especially in today's market. I did see that I believe Wake County, our unemployment is either at 3% or under 3% now. So we are way past fully employed for our county, and our employers need us. And that's why they're coming to us in part to talk to us about apprenticeship opportunities. They see increases in productivity, which is really fantastic. You might not think that, but actually as the mentors help the apprentices and the trainers, they do notice that there's an increase with all of their workers, and it drives, of course, for them, their top line revenue. And then, of course, it really started out prior to the pandemic. We had a skills gap that we were not filling with trained workers here in Wake County and throughout the state and the United States. But this really does provide those skilled training that the employees and employers are looking for. So I want to play another video and just listen to this one. It's a little bit more about the student and the employer relationship.
Apprenticeships aren't what they used to be. For centuries, skilled professionals passed their knowledge down to the next generation. But over time, we gave up that heritage. And our students, job seekers, and businesses ultimately suffered for it.
There is a gap in the education system where we really missed out on vocational training over the last 20 years.
The reality is that there are a number of industries that are really struggling, and it's harming them in terms of their productivity and their ability to do what they do because they can't find the talent.
We were unable to get qualified applicants. We've used staffing agencies, we've used resources, personal resources. We were hiring neighbors, we were hiring family members that worked here, and the match was not perfect because they were not on the path that we were looking for.
Apprenticeship has reached a tipping point. Today, educators all over the nation are proving apprenticeships are vital again, as they forge partnerships with local business all over, combining what is learned in the class with skills obtained in the field.
It's very different from the classroom because when you have that hands-on training, then it's a whole different world.
My view of school has definitely changed since the apprenticeship started. Just getting to apply those same hands-on skills. I think a lot of us like to use that term, when am I ever going to use this? Like, now I actually have an answer for that question. And so you can start to value what you really want to hang on to and what you might be able to pass on to someone else down the road.
The combination of actually going to school and incorporating that knowledge here, and the other way around too, the knowledge from here, bring that into going to a class, that works really good together.
It's about launching students' careers and serving businesses.
The long goal is what I'm looking at right now, to where I can actually advance my career and not stay in one spot for too long. So the apprenticeship program is a great effort. It couples education and on-the-job training. This program really allows me a stepping stone to get into the educational system and create those career academies that can teach these skill sets at a much wider range across a broader audience to really produce valuable employees for the entire region.
These apprentices that we are getting, they're on a path that they have chosen, and it happens to mesh perfectly with what we need.
And it's educators who are responsible for leading this charge.
But I think what educators need to know about careers in the guitar industry is that it's kind of a trade-based job, sort of like being a master carpenter or an electrician, something like that. It's a lot more hands-on and skill-oriented than it is traditional education.
I see it as a great foundation for a career in our company because the more they learn, the better they are, the better we are as a company. Because you're teaching them a career. You're not just sending them to do a job. While you're teaching them, they're preparing themselves for the future.
There's a lot of opportunity to learn, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of people that will want to share that knowledge, and that's a very good environment to be in.
The passion that is developed between companies that do hire apprentices and help with apprenticeship programs. They understand what the end goal is, which is bringing on employees, skilling them up specifically, custom to what they need in their company. And it varies. I mean, carpentry, the businesses we do, for example, with the different carpentry companies, we have big, we have small, we have remodeling, we have commercial construction, we have residential construction. So even within one of our occupations, depending on our partners, you can see a wide breadth of opportunities even within the occupation. So what are the benefits to these apprentices when they go into the program? Number one, it's debt-free and paid positions. Let me say that again, it's debt-free, and these are paid positions. That's empowering the apprentices to learn an in-demand tech skill, of which you'll pick out. We have the skilled trades like carpentry, HVAC, electrician, and we also have things like medical assisting, EMT, very little in the IT, unfortunately, due to what's happening in the market, but a pretty broad breadth of occupations for our students that are interested in apprenticeships. You'll get a year or more. Typically, these apprenticeships are 2 to 4 years long, depending on the occupation. And you're experiencing that typically in a high growth company. A lot of the companies that are coming to me on a weekly basis can't grow their companies because right now they just can't find enough trained associates that can work with them who are willing to advance their careers at their company and therefore allowing their company to advance here in Wake County. Getting in that on-the-job training. So what you're learning in class, you're putting to use the next day as you're on the job, which is really fantastic for people that like to learn with their hands or learn in doing. These are really great opportunities with the on-the-job training, learning portion of the programs. Obviously, there's built-in coaching. So we do a competency checklist, which is a list of job tasks that are going to be accomplished on the job. It's kind of the flip side of a report card and the curriculum you're taking when you're in class. So you're going to get that built-in coaching and mentorship as you're at the company acting as a apprentice. You're going to learn technical and durable skills, right? So, you know, these are modern workplaces that you're going into using the latest technology or the latest power tools. You have access to a broader community of peers, which means you're working, you know, with people that have similar likes that you have in a similar occupation, really doing the same thing you are. So it gets you the opportunity to really learn beyond just the skills. Here's a video about a student here in the state of North Carolina in the Charlotte area who really, didn't exactly know what she wanted to do, but she had an idea and she decided that she was going to follow up on that. So this is the Charlotte area here in North Carolina, and this is a young apprentice who got into the field, and as you'll see, she's kicking it. So let's listen to the story about her.
At the Central Piedmont Community College Harper campus, which is where many of our skilled trades programs are offered, we had an orientation, and we have one pretty much every fall for W.B. Moore's cohort of students.
I actually wanted to be a physical therapist for a while, but after realizing that, something really important to me was giving back to my community, something like disaster relief really caught my eye and my passion. So, of course, in order to help in that way, the trades and construction is a really big part of that. I decided to just try it out, and so I had some nice people in the community help me realize that I was capable of doing it. I just needed to learn the process, so that's what I started doing.
She actually came and knocked on the door when we were at the back of Philip O'Berry High School, and she says, "Are you Miss Margaret?" And I said, "Yes." And she says, "I heard you're doing electrical. Can I come?" And I'm like, "Oh, wow, where'd you come from, young lady?"
Jamaica could take what she learned in the classroom and apply it out in the field in the real world. Jamaica came in, we have hand booklets on how to bend a piece of conduit. So I got the class started, and I looked around, and Jamaica was reading the book, had a ruler out, and was measuring it, marking on the pipe, and she started bending it.
In Jamaica's electrical classes, she was the only female, okay? So the leadership was that she would have to show the boys, the young men, what to do, because she would catch on very, very easily. So she would help instruct with the instructor to get them up and running. And they didn't have any problem with it.
Having an electrical license is a goal of mine personally that I want to reach. Is something that I'm passionate about, and I could really use it to help 1,000 people, so I'm really excited.
She has been a phenomenal student from the very beginning. She's always been one of our spokespersons.
When people like Jamaica are as motivated and already this far ahead at such a young age, you can really tell that they're going to be very successful in their life in whatever they choose to do.
We are stoked that she won the award.
It's a great story, and I think there's many more stories through apprenticeship about the success and just the opportunity that is presented through apprenticeship that students and folks would never have. And it's not age related, by the way. We here at Wake Tech, we have, apprentices, yes, obviously coming out of high school, but also we have career people that have pivoted from a current job. They can be in their late 20s and mid 30s and decide that they really want to do something else with their career, and they come in and they join the WakeWorks Apprenticeship Program. There was a question in the chat about our automotive systems technology apprenticeship. Yes, we do have one. That is in our degree programs. So this evening, you're at the Workforce Continuing Ed program, which is our non-degree and certification programs. So if you're interested in more information about that, you can contact me and we can talk about that program separately. Just some basics about registered apprenticeship programs. There's about 2,000 hours of on-the-job learning per year. We realize we have to be flexible with that. Not everybody can work a full-time job and actually go to school full-time. But in the case of our workforce continuing education classes, they're given in the evenings. So they are 2 nights a week, and they're either Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And those are hybrid classes. So the actual classwork that's done through the books that they're using in the NCCR curriculum, which is the National Center for Construction and Education and Research, we're actually doing classes online, and then there's classes actually for on hand in our labs that you come to the Beltline Education Center and you would take those classes. So working during the days, and then in the evenings, twice a week, you're coming to class and getting your related technical instruction. We feel like this is an extraordinary opportunity because you're getting paid to work as an apprentice. You're going to get that nationally recognized skills and professional credential, mostly the US DOL Journey Worker certificate, as well as using the NCCER curriculum that we use. There's certifications that go with that. So for each level of the skilled trade, they're going to get a level 1 certification through level 4 certification, and our skilled trades end with a craftsman professional certificate. So you can see that we build on certificates leading up to the journey worker certificate while you're getting paid in a job doing your on-the-job training. You're going to save money because as a WakeWorks apprentice, we are going to fund your tuition, fees, and any other expenses that we deem eligible at the time. We are funded by the Wake County Board of Commissioners. They provide the funds. It was their great foresight back in 2019 when things were good before the pandemic and unemployment was about 3.5%. So a lot of foresight went into this. They realized that our folks here in Wake County, not everyone was able to participate in the economic mobility elevator going up. So what they said to Dr. Rawls, who's the president of Wake Tech, is how can we get a job training program that's going to sustain over time and allow equal access for all of our citizens of Wake County? So they decided to come up with what Dr. Rawls calls the gold standard of workforce training or work-based learning, which is apprenticeship. So we've been started really in the spring of 2020, but we really kicked off our first term was the fall semester of 2020. So we have grown significantly in the program to be offering the benefits of being in the WakeWorks Apprenticeship Program. So you earn while you learn, as we've been saying. You get a paycheck plus that USDOL Journey Worker Certificate. You're going to grow professionally being out there on the job, working with others that are like you and others that are either at the journey worker level or higher, the master level. You can build a long career with lasting relationship with the employers, as well as, friends and colleagues that you're going to meet on the job. Let's go to the next slide. So here are the programs that we offer, and this is a truncated list, actually, but it's really A to Z, anywhere from accounting, culinary arts, all of the skilled trades such as welding and plumbing and carpentry, electrician, HVAC tech. Some of these offer the certificate programs, and some of these are degree programs. So if you're interested in any of these programs, you should definitely contact us here at WakeWorks Apprenticeship to learn more about the opportunities that we have in the different occupations. Again, the employers realize we're starting with the basics. You're going to learn the job from the ground up. You're going to earn as you learn with a pay scale. So when we set up these programs, as you gain skills and knowledge, you're going to get paid appropriately for those skills and knowledge. And then at the end, you will reach the journey worker credential and the journey worker wage for the program. Again, WakeWorks Apprenticeship is providing the tuition, fees, books, and a toolkit in the areas of the skilled trades. So our carpenter students, electrician students, HVAC students are all getting a starter toolkit so that they can bring that to their first day of work when they get hired as apprentices. So we want to prep them in every way we can to make our apprentices successful on the job. It's a common phrase, we really care about our student apprentices, but I think, we really do care, and we provide some wraparound services. We have career coach support for all of our student apprentices and pre-apprentices. We use them to help with resume development, job interview prep. We have some barrier removal funds through Credit Suisse. So if our student apprentices need some one-off funds, like maybe an Uber to get to work because they're having car trouble, or in the rare instance, maybe childcare, whatever we can do with these barrier removal funds to make sure our student apprentices can attend class and show up for work on time every day, we try to provide those wraparound services. We give our students a heads up what they need to be taking next semester. We help them with enrollment. We also provide any type of support of typically English and math classes where we might have to kind of shore those up a little bit because not everyone has technical English skills or technical math skills. So if we realize that when our students are going through the program, we're able to offer those classes here at Wake Tech for them. And then the best part of my job is the hiring events where we actually have these twice a year, spring and the fall, where we bring our participating partners in. Those are the companies that are looking to hire our apprentices and pre-apprentices, and we have them actually sit down in a 25 minute interview where they actually sit and interview. This is not a career fair. This is literally meeting with the different companies for about 25 minutes. And typically these are very successful where our student apprentices get hired out of these events. So we don't feel good here at WakeWorks Apprenticeship until we've completely closed the circle by providing the training that we need and introducing these trainees to our companies that are looking to hire our students as apprentices. So that's the best time for me, is seeing that actually happen, where people are getting interviewed and getting jobs. We also have a youth apprenticeship coordinator on our team, and she is working in the Wake County public school system at the high schools and sometimes dipping all the way back into middle school. We think we have a great opportunity to start to build on those high school NCCR courses that are actually given at some of the high schools. So if the students are interested in taking electrical or carpentry, they can actually take it in some of the high schools at Wake County. If their high schools don't offer it, as long as you're 16 or over, you can attend Wake Tech in our evening classes and use those NCCR courses to get ahead of the other students who would be starting after they graduate. So a great opportunity for high school students who want to begin their education around skilled trades early. The other thing is we're always developing new programs, meaning we're always trying to work with our business partners in the community. Really, I have not added any programs in the WakeWorks Apprenticeship program that hasn't been started and driven by our business partners. We don't come up with the program and then try to sell it. We let the business partners come to us and we will try to fulfill whatever their need is, as long as we have enough students and that we feel the occupation is sustainable. I've got one last video here before we end, and then I'll take some questions.
So my day just ended. It was a very successful day today.
And I'm in the Medical Science Academy.
I'm in Marketing YA.
So I'm actually going for business.
The skills and experience I have gained through my youth apprenticeship, I can take with me throughout my whole life.
I learned to use a new business software.
Public speaking and my communication skills have gone through the roof.
I get time during my day at school to work and earn money for my college.
Train like a technician, but to eventually become a certified tech. Being an apprentice really gives you experience that others probably won't have. So it looks great on your resume.
But my favorite part about being a youth apprentice is that I got both my friends to join me. So now every time I go to work, I get to work with my friends, which makes the job a ton more fun.
See all my friends with $250,000 worth of student loan debt. I don't have any of that. I don't have to worry about none of that.
I'm stable. I have a stable job. If I get laid off, I could easily get another job within the union.
I love being a youth apprentice, and I think you will too.
So yeah, I hope this kind of gives you a first glance at what youth apprentice programs have to offer.
If you have the opportunity, take it.
If you're not an apprentice, what are you waiting for?
Those that you just heard are specifically high school seniors who've had the opportunity to work as a youth apprentice, not yet 18, in companies that are willing to promote and hire through a youth apprentice. So we're working diligently with the Wake County Public Schools to try to establish our first youth apprenticeship program. So you'll hear more about that hopefully in the future. I want to thank you for your interest in apprenticeships and of course the WakeWorks Apprenticeship Program here at Wake Tech Community College. My name is John Wojcik. I'm the Senior Director of the WakeWorks Apprenticeship Program here, and you can contact me at my email here on this slide. And if there's any questions, we'll be able to answer those questions at this time. Again, I want to reinstate that we are going to be able to provide this recording to you at a later date. And when we have that available, we have a list of those who are attended. And if we don't get to you and you're thinking, I should get a copy of that, it's never too late to send in a request for the recording, and we'll be more than happy to do that. Check us out on our website, WakeWorks at Wake Tech, where we have a lot of good information as well. So I'm looking in the chat right now. So the way you're going to enroll within the WakeWorks Apprenticeship Program again is go to WakeWorks at Wake Tech. I think if you just take a picture of the QR code on the screen right now, I believe it does take you to our WakeWorks Apprenticeship Program website. So you can either use the QR code or do hit us up at WakeWorks at Wake Tech. So our apprenticeships start typically in the fall and January. So we'll start actually registering students for August start in June, late June, and all the month of July, all the way up until about a week before we'll start classes in August. So if you're interested in an introduction to the skilled trades, that'll go from August until December. And then we hopefully will start level 1 of whatever that occupation is, such as electrician, plumbing, or HVAC in January of the following year, so January of 2024. So that is our skilled trades. So IT support positions, unfortunately, with the climate right now here in the Triangle, we don't have any companies actively pursuing our pre-apprentices who are taking our IT program related technical instruction. So unfortunately, I don't have good news for anybody interested in IT at this time. However, just keep looking at our website. We will update it when we do get a partner that will help take our IT support positions. And I want to let everybody know it's a very competitive program, apprenticeship. So not everyone who's in our program actually gets into a job as an apprentice because there are just so many open areas. Our accounting, somebody has a question about accounting. Our accounting tech is a degree program that we are working with the partner. So if you want more information about accounting, again, go to WakeWorks at Wake Tech and just give us your information there, and we will be able to get back to you and give you more information about any of the occupations that you'll see at WakeWorks at Wake Tech. Are there any other questions in chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask a question? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up here. And again, I just want to thank everyone for attending today's session. I hope that you got a lot of information. Tell your friends, your family, tell everybody all about WakeWorks Apprenticeship and what a great opportunity it is here at Wake Tech Community College. Thank you.